Hello there. Our podcast is here. Enjoy.
Please enjoy. We put to the pub test sleepovers for kids. I thought everyone loved their kids doing sleepovers. Apparently these days, parents don't let their kids
Well,
do
it's
them.
a little strange, isn't it? Your boys ever go for sleepovers?
Well, what was hard, yes, they went to other people's for sleepovers. It was hard having them at our place because I get up so early in the morning.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be up all night screaming at them.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult.
And also, when they were young and they'd go for a sleepover, I thought, please don't be scared and want to come home.
Yeah.
Because I've had a couple of glasses of wine.
And it looks so bad when you show up to pick up your kid in
In
a
an
taxi or an Uber. Also, the Blue Wiggle, Anthony Field, will be joining us. They've got a new documentary coming out tomorrow.
Speaking of memoirs and all that kind of stuff, Britney Spears has a new memoir. Emma Gillespie, our entertainment reporter, helps us digest it all.
Yep. Also, the man who posed as a mannequin to steal jewels.
Wow.
That's all coming up on our podcast.
Everybody
Right now, by the miracle of recording, we had so many requests for them to do it again.
Mistress Amanda
Miss Keller. Amanda.
doesn't work alone.
Wow, this is fantastic.
Her friend is in a back room making the tools of the trade.
I've heard them describe him as a drunken idiot.
Sorry, I've been drinking beer.
The legendary pirate Jonesy and Amanda the actress.
Hello, Wiggles. Congratulations, Mandy.
We're on the radio right now.
Jonesy and Amanda, you're doing a great job.
You have no empathy for anyone but yourself, you giant tool.
Now's the time to hear good radio.
Sorry, a bit of a tongue twist there.
What are you, an idiot?
Jonesy and Amanda are here.
It's showtime, a-holes. We're on the air.
Top of the morning to you, Amanda.
Hi.
Monday.
Monday.
Action-packed weekend. Yeah, I had a great weekend.
I had quite a busy weekend. We had some visitors and things on the most days. So I did a lot of cake eating, cake baking, but also cake eating. Often I bake a cake and I won't eat it because I don't have a particularly sweet tooth. I'm one of those people, I don't have a sweet tooth, but savoury, you can't stop me. I'm one of those irritating people.
Sure.
But when guests come over, if it's there, of course I'm going to eat it.
Yeah.
So I plough my way through an enormous amount of it.
Good work.
Yeah, good work, me. How about you? How was your weekend?
I went to a wedding, which was nice. Old school wedding, which was...
Old school, young people, but old school?
Catholic church, and then the formal sit-down, wedding reception with the speeches. And I like that sort of
Nice.
stuff. That's nice. I haven't been to one of those for a long time because now the trend is to stand up and eat the little canapes and do all that sort of stuff, and then they get married outside instead of in
Well,
the
that was your
church.
son's beautiful wedding, and it was lovely.
There's
I
no
loved
beef with that. I like that, but I haven't been to an old school wedding.
Yeah.
I don't think since my own one back in the 1900s.
And were you picked out as a heathen?
No, not at all. I liked
A lightning bolt above your head?
Always, when I walk into the church, I go, okay, it's been some time. Let's all just,
Oh, nice.
take it easy. We sailed on the weekend and we didn't sink. We actually came second.
Excellent
So
work.
that was pretty good.
Everyone's had a good weekend.
An action-packed weekend.
Yes.
And the world seems to be okay.
I had a secret drop-in from my son Liam.
Good.
He was in a party in Sydney, and they came down from Newcastle. They're all going to sleep on the party host's floor.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
sort of, can I come home tonight? Sure. There's a limit to wanting to sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
And I said, you don't have to ask permission. This is your home. This is your home.
The sleeping on the floor thing, it never goes well. I remember a friend of mine, this friend isn't me, by the way, he went to a party, got totally trashed, nuded up and fell asleep on the kitchen floor and then woke up in the morning. Well, all the housemates walked past as he was asleep on the floor, but he woke up with a giant morning glory.
Nude.
Yeah. And everyone was walking past him.
How old was he?
He's about 18, 19.
Didn't you?
He's lying on the ground with a big stiffy.
Oh,
Everyone just
no, in the nude? People were playing quoits. Do you remember once you told me that, and this is only a few years ago, you were hosting Christmas lunch at your place. You might be to your sister's place the night before and everyone had got written off. And then you had a whole lot of people coming to your place for Christmas lunch, and you woke up, you were asleep on her kitchen floor.
Yeah, and I thought I've got to make a lamb spit roast.
And you're asleep on her floor.
Yes, but I didn't have a morning glory. No. I had the sense to fall asleep in my clothes. Not nude up entirely. When you stay at someone's house, you've got to just keep yourself nice.
Yes. Anyway.
Action-packed show today. We've got Instagram making its return, your chance to win cash. And if you want to win prizes right now with the Magnificent Seven, what are some of the prizes, Manda?
Oh, okay. $200 to spend at the Lego store.
Oh, that's good.
2 tickets to the Red Hot Summer
that's
Tour.
even
Susie
better.
Quattro, Cheap Trick, all of them. Oh, that's amazing.
That's quite the lineup. If you'd like to play, why don't you call us? 13 WSFM is our number. What's the first question?
Dracula is what kind of mythical creature?
Jam Nation. Let's get into the Magnificent Seven, shall we? 7 questions. Can you go all the way and answer all 7 questions correctly? If you do that, Amanda will say...
I'll say...
I'm not Daft Punk.
Yeah, that's what I'll say. Thank you. It's Monday. I've got no ideas.
But it's about getting questions 7 right. Mark is in Blair Athol.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, how you going?
Very well. Question number 1 for you. Dracula is what kind of mythical creature?
That'd be a vampire.
Vampire.
Which Australian dessert company is currently in administration?
Oh, wow.
Layer upon layer upon layer.
Sarah Lee.
Sarah Lee.
You've been doing a lot of baking, Amanda. Maybe you could take over. Maybe you could fill the void.
Maybe
that
I
Sarah
could.
Lee would no doubt leave.
Of course. I'll just whip up a cheesecake every 10 seconds. I'll do that. Question number 3. Let's play the not-so-secret sound, Mark. Duh. What is this?
Sounds like Amanda yawning.
Well, not necessarily Amanda.
But yes, it is someone yawning. Yes, it is, Mark.
Question 4. How much money gets tossed into the Trevi Fountain each year over there in Italy? Is it A, 500,000 euros, B, 1 million euro, or C, 1.5 million euro?
Let's go with B.
1 million?
No, it's not 1 million.
And there we have it, question 4 of the Magnificent Seven. That's quite a lot of euro.
It's a lot of
Because they
money.
just cleaned it out. Did you see the picture of them cleaning the Trevi Fountain the other day?
It was only in 2001 that the mayor said the money should be collected for a local charity. Otherwise, it just sat in there.
So who was collecting it before?
Well, that's why people were jumping in trying to nick it. I threw my credit card in.
It's a lot of lira in the old DAX.
Jonesy and Amanda. Sam Nation. Podcast.
The Magnificent Seven is where we're at, and it's question 4.
It's going to Millie on the Central Coast. Hello, Millie.
Hi, how are you guys?
Very
Millie?
well. So every year people toss coins into the Trevi Fountain. How much money gets tossed every year? We've got 2 options left. Is it A, 500,000, 500,000 euro, or is it 1.5 million euro?
C.
1.5 million euro.
1.5 million
And they were
euro.
just sweeping out the fountain the other day. I saw it in the news. I didn't expect there'd be that much money in there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Why, you're going to get a new scuba suit?
No, I'm going to start diving into the city's
Well, now
fountains.
that you know there's 1.5 million euro in
Have
there.
you seen the Hyde Park fountain here?
I got 3 Band-Aids on
You
Saturday.
go in that Hyde Park fountain.
Oh, it's people's bums that have been in there. It's not quite the same.
The food Pigs in a Blanket features what 2 parts, Millie?
What goes into Pigs in a Blanket? What are the 2 elements?
Pastry and cocktail frankfurts.
Yeah. I never knew that was Pigs in a Blanket. I knew Devil's on Horseback and all those. That's bacon around a prune.
Yeah.
And Devil's on something else is bacon around an oyster.
Yeah. I don't know. They're always, the Pigs in a Blanket always looks like some sort of venereal disease when they bring it round. You're okay.
I stop at 6.
I'll pass on that one.
Question 6 for you, Millie. Big celebrations. How old was the Sydney Opera House? How old is it this year? There have been big celebrations
I think
over
the birthday
the weekend.
for it was this weekend.
Yeah.
150?
No.
House. Paul's in Kenthurst.
Hello, Paul. You've just
that'd be-
offended the Opera House.
Oh, well, offended us because I was at the opening of it as a little primary school kid. Were you there as well?
Bustle?
Were you there?
No, I wasn't there. I was 100 years old myself.
I was sitting in the forecourt and we saw the Queen come along. And
Did your school go?
Every primary school in New South Wales or Sydney, we all went there and sat for hours on the tarmac while we were waiting for the festivities.
I think I was first year of high school when this happened, which may have given this away if everyone's forensically detailing our ages. Hello, Paul. How are you?
Hi, guys. How are you guys?
Very well. How old's the Opera House this year?
Be 50, wouldn't
50. It's 50.
Which Australian UFC fighter lost over the weekend, Paul?
it? Aussie one, Volks.
Yeah.
That's right, Volkanovski.
Volkanovski.
So
Amanda's
he
a big
lost.
fan
Why
of
are we
him.
cheering that he's
Well,
lost?
no, it's terrible that he lost.
I've met him. He came in here once and he was
Nice
holding his
fella.
big weight belt. And
Yeah.
I had a photo so I could send it to my son.
You started trash talking.
I
In
stripped
your
down to my
underpants.
undies and said, let's weigh in.
Congratulations to you, Paul. You've won the Jam Pack. It's all coming your way. $200 to spend at the Lego store, celebrating Lego's Certified Store's Big Win competition. 2 tickets to the Red Hot Summer Tour, March 3, 2024. And Jonesy and Amanda carry tissues for you to colour and some Staedtler pencils. Anything you'd like to add to this, Paul?
Oh, I'm really looking forward to the pencils and the colouring in.
Okay.
Well, exactly. Thank you, Paul. You know
Stay
your priorities.
within the lines.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Podcast.
Testing. This is it, folks. Over the top.
Thumbing through our Jalmanac, it's our big book of musical facts. On this day in 1979, the Police released their hit single, Walking on the Moon. Sting, you know where this song comes from?
Tell me.
He wrote the song after a drunken night out in Munich. He was so drunk that he started pacing around the room, muttering to himself, walking round the room, walking round the room. And the next morning he wrote down the riff and decided Walking Around the Room was a stupid title, so he changed it to an even more stupid one, which was Walking on the Moon. He said at the time, a lot of people thought it was about Neil Armstrong, but it wasn't. It was just about me being on the cans in Munich.
Doing Walking Like a Loon.
Walking like a loon. The B-side was Weeing in the Wardrobe. Didn't have as much success.
Trudy was furious.
She was. What are you doing in there, Sting? The toilet's down the corridor. Anyway, let's put this on.
I really want to hear the B-side now.
Sting's on the bass.
B.
I see what you did.
Thank you.
Jam Nation.
You know, sometimes when something amazing is in your own city, it's easy to overlook it. For example, if you live at Niagara Falls, you probably close the cafe curtains and go, oh, there's all that spume again.
Yeah.
Or if
I
you-
liken to working with youth like that, like living next door to Niagara Falls. There'd be days when you look at the majestic sight that you're seeing each day, and other times you just shut the curtains because you don't want the spume going all over you.
Is that why you're dressed in a barrel?
And a rain slicker.
This makes me think of Sculptures by the Sea.
Yeah.
We are so lucky to have this in our city. It's the world's largest free outdoor sculpture exhibition. It's on for the next 18 days, and it's a 2-kilometre coastal walk from Bondi to Tamarama or around the other way. And it's been going since 1997. They're expecting 450,000 people to do it. It's become this world-famous walk.
Have they got the melted ice cream truck? I love that.
See, all these things are amazing sculptures there.
Not that I've ever seen it. I've never done
Haven't
the
you ever
walk
done
before.
it?
No,
well, the last few
I've
years...
done it by accident.
Well, the last few years I haven't done it, but as I said, my brother's coming to Sydney with his wife to see Paul McCartney. And so I think we might go and do this on the weekend. And my uncle has made these fiberglass zebras that were in Sculptures by the Sea a few years ago, and I've got one of those zebras in my backyard.
Yeah.
You've seen my zebra.
Yeah, a lot of people, I tell people that you nicked it from Sculpture by the Sea.
Oh, why would you do
Because
that?
it's funny, just the idea of you running down the road with a giant...
life-size zebra.
I'm putting this in my backyard.
Yeah. Well,
next to my Ronald McDonald.
the
that I nicked from
sculpture
McDonald's.
and Flight Centre Man. Well, the sculpture that won this year would be a very hard one to steal, and I'm thrilled that this prize has been won by a friend of mine. His name is John Petrie. He's a sculptor, and he has been entering this competition since the year it began, and this year he's won the big prize. And 25 years after first entering the competition, and his sculpture, have a look at it. Isn't it beautiful?
Oh, it looks like an Easter Island statue.
What he does is he goes into nature and sources these big rocks, and the rocks just kind of talk to him, and he tries to work out the shapes and things and what he's feeling about them. This one is extraordinary. It's called 23.5 Degrees. It's 2.5 metres high. It's an abstract stone work. It says it's made from 2 huge pieces of basalt that he sourced in the Brindabella range. John's quote, I love this quote, this is very John. He said, well, I had this idea of that angle. It popped into my head and I thought, that's a good idea. I did the drawing. I wrote 23.5 degrees on it and submitted it. And then when I was accepted, I thought, oh, shit, now I've got to make it. He said, it took me 6 months and a lot of stress. I had to select the stone and decide if it was too big or too little, to arrange to get it from the mountains and how to arrange it. But he said, this award means these monumental boulders from Australia, the oldest continent on earth, have found a place in sculpture. Art is a serious business and speaks of optimism and possibility. It shows confidence in the world. And it's a beautiful, beautiful piece. But this will be amongst hundreds of other pieces of sculpture, some whimsical, some hilarious, some huge, some tiny that are nestled along the walkway, some hidden in little rocks, some along the foreshore. It's a fantastic thing that's in our own
Because it
city.
can be confusing. You just see a McDonald's wrapper and you go, that's just rubbish. You
Look
pick
at
it up.
those
Excuse me,
syringes.
that's my work. What are you doing?
Those syringes have taken me weeks to create.
I dare say that would be a lot heavier than one of your fiberglass zebras, so you won't be able to nick that.
I'm going to try my best.
Won't see you with a bunch of uni students running down the road with it.
Hey, man. Sculptures by the Sea is on over the next 18 days. It's amazing. Check
I'm
it
going
out.
to try and get there.
Try and get there.
Jonesy and Amanda's Jam Nation
podcast.
Basking in the success of our win at radio's Night of Nights, the ACRAs.
Yeah, that's right.
The weekend before last.
It was a week ago. We won Best On-Air Team, which is like the gold logie of radio. We were so chuffed.
You got to bask in these things because like that, it's gone.
What's gone?
Well,
Have they taken it away?
You win the award. Well, I'm yet to see the award.
I've got it at home.
Yeah. And then
it's very heavy. I can't bring it back
I
in.
usually get a facsimile of that award.
Well, mine is so heavy. I thought you'd prefer a lighter polystyrene version.
And radio isn't spelt with a Y.
Should be.
Should be. So, but basking in that success of our win on the weekend, you know how I sail on the weekend. I don't know why I do it.
You go along with a whole lot of, as you say, you go along with all these older guys and just get sworn at.
Yeah. And the only thing older than the boats is the crew. And it's
like Dad's army on the water.
When I was a kid, I was very bad at sport. The only sport I could really do that I was sort of okay at was sailing. And I used to sail a little Manly Junior.
I love the story you tell of you and your brother sailing together and your father watching with great pride from the shore.
Yeah, because we used to just swear at each other, and that's what sailing's about.
And he said he could hear the language just drift across the water.
So, boys, you know that sound travels across the water.
So proud of you.
So proud of you. So anyway, I took up sailing a few years ago on these old boats. They're the old 18-footers on Sydney Harbour. So, you know, the modern 18-footers.
They're magnificent.
These things are built in the 30s, and why use one rope when 50 will do? And in the old days, a bit of history, people used to go and bet on these boats. It used to be a big thing. You'd get a spectator fleet out there and there'd be all these bets made about who was going to win and stuff like that. So they're redoing it again now, and it's a fun thing, and anyone can go along.
Can I bet against you?
You'd be wise to bet against us because usually we just sink, and every week we would sink. And last year we were in a boat, or the year before that I'd say, because we had a year off because our boat broke down and the crew, Sailor Jerry, had knee surgery. George sadly got cancer and he passed away just only a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So we've all come back to the boat, but we're on a different boat. We've gone from the Aberdare. We're on the Mistake.
It's called the Mistake.
Yes, which is probably a good name for us. So it's a totally different, you ever watch Star Trek?
Not
when
really.
they get a different Enterprise. It's like that. So anyway, we're on the Mistake. The Mistake used to beat us hands down every time last year. So the old crew of the Mistake are now on our old boat, the Aberdare.
Why did you swap? Is that a long story?
I don't ask these questions.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
just sit there and get yelled at.
Okay.
And I did say to Sailor Jerry as the Aberdare went screaming past us like I was stopped, I said, gee, never saw that boat run as well as that when we were on it. And Jerry said some words that I can't repeat here.
Yeah.
And then the Aberdare tipped over exactly where we always used to tip over, out the front of Malcolm Turnbull's house.
And sunk.
It sunk. I couldn't believe it. And they're a really good crew, but it sunk. And then we came second.
Well, congratulations.
And George was with us because I took a picture of George on the boat. I had the foresight to laminate the picture of George so he doesn't get all wet again.
In case you capsized.
Yes, and we didn't need the lamination. That I used the station laminator as well without asking permission. It was all moot.
Was there swearing?
Of course there was swearing. These guys, there's no sensitivities with these old blokes. They just abuse each other.
Yeah. If you're a sensitive soul, you sob all day.
That's true. If you're sensitive, then you get called sensitive. So you can't be sensitive. Leave your
Leave your poetry books at home.
keep it to yourself. You should come along.
Oh, you've just described my perfect day, Brendan.
You'd love it.
Sure.
Jam.
Jam Nation.
We're doing a grab right now.
Who wants some free money?
Instant.
Going fast.
Moolah.
I like the sound of that.
Jonesy and Amanda's
Bingo, bango, ready to go. You have 10 questions, 60 seconds on the clock. You can pass if you don't know an answer. We'll come back to that question if time permits. If you get all the questions right, $1,000.
And you can go with $1,000. That's great. But we will tempt you. One more question, double or nothing.
Ooh. Chris is in Beacon Hill.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
Good morning, Amanda. Good morning, Jonesy.
How are you, Chris? Have we caught you on the hot, mate?
well.
You sound a bit distracted.
I'm making sandwiches and getting kids ready for school.
Okay, well, know that you're doing good work here, but you've got to be 100% focused.
We
on
need
this,
60 seconds of focus here, Chris. Do you think you can manage that?
I'm about to launch into the zone.
All
Okay,
right,
put
let's
down
do
the
it.
Devon.
Put the Devon and the tomato sauce down. Unleash the Glad Wrap because here we go. We've got 10 seconds, 60 seconds. If you're not sure, say pass because we usually have time to come back. Okay, Chris?
That's fantastic.
Chris, focusing right now because here we go. Question 1. Valentine's Day is celebrated on which date?
24th of Feb.
Oh, Chris.
Your wife will be furious.
Pick up the Devon.
It's the 14th of Feb.
Oh, my goodness. It's my brother-in-law's birthday, too.
Oh,
Chris.
Well,
you're out
there
of
you
luck
go.
with all your family.
I've tried about 1,000 times to speak to you guys on Instagram and to go out the first round.
You'll have to try again, Chris.
Well, Chris, you're talking to us now, so that's something.
Yeah.
How good is that?
How good is that?
Amazing.
And Chris,
It's almost
you get
as good as
$100.
$2,000.
$100 to spend on
Yep.
Devon.
Go and buy some loaf. That big loaf, not the
Thank
dog,
you, guys.
not the dog roll. Although
See, Chris,
that dog roll looks quite appetizing.
you can see
you know?
why people get confused.
I'd eat that stuff.
A little salty for
if
mine.
there was an apocalypse, I'd eat that stuff.
Well, so what's your excuse now?
Well, if you're stuck in an apocalypse, you've got to eat stuff. You're not giving it to
midday
those
movies
mongrels.
on, it's an apocalypse.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation.
Lots of people attempt to get out of paying bills and paying restaurant fees. You know, you order a meal and then you find a way, this isn't what I ordered or whatever it is to try and get a free meal. What about this guy? He lives in Spain. He's 50 years old. He has scammed 20 eateries in the area by refusing to pay the bill. What he does is he has the meal. For example, this time, which was his 20th time just recently, he wears designer clothes. He started with a Russian salad. He washed it down with multiple glasses of whiskey. He had a main meal of lobster followed by more whiskey, then dessert, blah, blah, blah. When the time comes to pay, he clutches his chest. He's incredibly theatrical. He falls to the floor as if he's having a heart attack. Every single time he fakes a heart attack.
It's a lot of effort, isn't it?
It's a lot of effort. He's actually been jailed for 42 days. After all this time, 20 attempts, people are saying, okay, that's enough. We're hauling you into prison for a couple of days. So, as I said, lots of people try and fake paying a bill, but it is a lot of effort, and it's not a very... A, being with someone who's cheap like that isn't attractive.
Yeah.
B, having a meal with somebody who's writhing around on the floor and attracting all that attention. You go, this is not what I've come on a date for.
This is the worst Tinder date in the world.
Absolutely.
Is he by himself?
Well, from the most recent one he was. I don't know whether he takes other people with him, but it's always the same trope. He clutches his chest, falls to the ground.
Have you ever been tempted to do a runner from a restaurant?
No, you know that I'm a goody two-shoes.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I'd feel too guilty.
Why are you pulling a face? I bet you know people who have.
Oh, I know, yeah. My brother.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Years ago. Yeah, well, years ago. And his little gang of mates there, one time they were at a Chinese restaurant. This is years ago.
And it's when you're young because you think you don't realise the implications of what that is for someone who's
Because
running a business.
when you first discover, when you're young and you first go out dining, you think, hang on, I don't have to pay any money now. I could eat this and I could just do a runner. How are they going to stop me? That's what went through their mind. So they were going to decamp jumping off the balcony because they looked over and they thought, well, it's all grass down there. It'll be all right.
So eat and just run away.
Yes. They said, let's
Terrible.
do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. So they jumped over the parapet. That's only one floor. Two of the three of them sprained their ankles. couldn't run. The guy just came down the bottom and said, well, where are you guys going? You got to pay the bill. And they're all writhing in pain. The guy had to put ice on one of their ankles. Had to ice their ankle.
Should have charged them for that.
Yeah.
Lesson learned. Well, what about this famous Australian guy? He's become a meme all around the world because he used to go to various restaurants, eat a beautiful meal.
Succulent Chinese meal.
And then, of course, he'd try and do a runner.
What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal?
And then he said about to the police, "Are you touching me on my penis?"
I think there's something in this.
What do we call it? How about Tales of the Runner?
Tales of the Runner.
Jam Nation.
The tribal drum is beating Tales of the Runner.
What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal?
I've been reading about this guy in Spain who has scammed 20 eateries by having a lavish meal and then faking a heart attack. Drastic lengths to go to.
Just pay the bill, dude.
Well, Tom's joined us. Why don't you say it to Tom? Hello, Tom.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Very well. Tell us about the runner.
Oh, a bit embarrassing. It was Friday nights at the pub, you know. There was a Chinese restaurant beside us. This Friday night was Christmas Eve. We'd had a skinful, went next door for a succulent Chinese meal, and they told us they were closing down, never to, you know, they weren't opening again. So we ate our meal and decided just to get up and walk. They were beautiful people. You know, we always went there. We always left a tip, but we decided this night, just for a laugh, stupid thing, get up and walk out.
Right.
Anyway, so in the new year, we go back to the pub on the Friday night. They're still open.
Oh.
No. So we go back and do the right thing and pay them. But then they say, okay, took the money, get out, and never come back again. And it was a beautiful feed, you know. So it was like stupidity cost us in the end, you know.
Yeah, bit you on the bum. But also, as you get older, you realise the implications of what it means to a business to do it. When you're younger, you don't see the big picture.
No, but Tom, like really, these poor people are closing down, no doubt, because they have no money. So you decide to celebrate
that one night.
Here's the thing. Well, here's more bad news for you.
They're going through hard times, so why don't we run and not pay?
Well, you should have set the place on fire as
I
well.
love that they said never come back. Tom, do you wake up at 3 a.m. and blush with shame at that story?
We deserve that. Now we've got to eat stinky kebabs instead, you know. So.
Sucko, Tom, and thank you for sharing.
Sarah's joined us as well.
Hello, Sarah.
Oh, hi, Amanda. Hi, Jonesy.
Sarah.
Did you do a runner? You don't sound like the type of person who'd do a runner.
No, I didn't actually. I've got a story from the other perspective. In the 90s, my mum and I owned a restaurant, and we worked bloody hard in that restaurant. And anyway, a couple of young fellas came in one night. They had a beautiful feed, and we had our backs turned, busy with other customers, and they did a runner.
Oh.
And I was furious. I was because they're around my age, and so I ran after them. And so I'm running through the streets of our local area, and I wasn't getting close to them, but I was calling across the road and saying, you know, that's just shameful what you've done. My mum and I worked so hard in this restaurant. You just need to pay your bill. And then other people got involved as we're walking along, and they started yelling at us. Anyway, they were shamed so much that they turned around, they came back and they paid their bill.
That's great that they did.
I love that everyone else on the street was saying,
they joined in. Boo, boo. Because it would make a big deal to a restaurateur for someone to run out on a bill, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no, it was hard work, and not good.
I bet they've never done that again. Thank you, Sarah.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Podcast.
Jam Nation.
Standing by for instructions. Go to your radio. Turn it on.
So this bloke's pastor's caught up with him. He'd fake a heart attack after he'd eaten at a restaurant to avoid paying the bill. And he's done this 20 times in the past.
Yeah, so finally he's been jailed for 42 days. Let's see how he likes faking a heart attack in prison.
Yeah.
I'll help you, mate.
Yeah, good on you, mate. I'll give you some mouth to mouth. That's not a mouth. Don't worry, mate.
What if I press down on this? Tribal Drum is beating for Tales of the Runner.
What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal?
Hello, Lauren. How are you?
Hi there. How are you?
Very well. We're hearing this is the domain of men. Did you do a runner?
No, my dad and his best friend did, but it was very unintentional. So every year they like to go to a restaurant and catch up and just have a lovely lunch together. And this year they went to lunch, and the waitress came over to them and poured their water and was a bit salty with them. And she said, you know, gentlemen, last time you were here, which would have been a year ago, you didn't pay your bill. And I had to pay for it out of my paycheck. And knowing them, it would have been a few $100s.
Yeah.
And they said to her, well, how ridiculous. Why would you accuse us of that? We paid our bill. And off she stormed. And, they start to tuck into their lunch and, still talking about it. How could she accuse us of that? You paid the bill. And his friend said, what do you mean? You paid the bill. Oh. And he's like, no, you paid the bill. I went to the toilet, and then you went to the toilet, and you paid the bill. Oh, my goodness, none of us, we didn't pay the bill. And she's right. And so then they had to go up and, they paid their current bill and then figured out how much they owed them from the previous lunch. And I think they threw her $100 just to say sorry and, for getting angry at her. So
it's unusual that she'd have to pay out of her own money.
That's what happens. That happens to the wait staff, yeah.
You're kidding.
No, that's what happens at some restaurants. I wonder how she went retracting the spit out of their food.
Yes, while we're being honest.
Yeah, well, that's not an oyster. Thank you, Lauren.
That chocolate mousse you ordered.
Keith's with us.
Hello, Keith.
Hi, good morning. Happy Monday.
Yes, you too. Tell us about the runner.
Well, my story was back in the day when the milkman used to bring the milk around at night, and you'd leave your empty bottles out, and he'd replace them with full bottles of milk. And a mate of mine and I had been to the surf club for a few beers, and on the way home we thought, oh, there's the milk tug. So we went in really close, and my mate leaned out the window, grabbed 2 bottles, and I took off up the street, turned my lights off, went round the corner, stopped on the side of the road. We thought, yoo-hoo, we're going to have a drink of milk now. And Chris had grabbed 2 empties.
Oh. And you guys are driving as well, so clearly before RBT and all those things. Back in the day, you have 6 standard drinks in the first hour and 5 every hour after that, and you're all right to drive, mate.
You don't often hear, woohoo, we're going to have a drink of milk.
Have some milk.
Particularly if you had the era of school milk, you know that's not an exciting thing.
Used to party hard.
Well, sucko 2 empty bottles. I hope we've all learned a lesson here. As you get older, you'll be ashamed of it.
Thank you.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation podcast. Let's get on down to the Jonesy and Amanda Arms for the pub test. And today, sleepovers. Do they pass the pub test?
Yeah, I saw a reel from this woman and she said, controversial parenting decision. I'm a no sleepovers whatsoever parent. Their friends are welcome at ours anytime, but unless myself or my husband are staying at someone else's house with our children, our boys won't be staying. I thought this was unusual. I was talking about it in the office earlier this morning, and there's a consensus around parents or kids that we work with here, mothers who have young kids, who say no. We're saying no to sleepovers. And it's an Australian study in 2016, 89% of participants in the study said they don't want their children attending a sleepover because of safety concerns.
Well, particularly when they become young teens as well, because different parenting styles. You always had that one friend whose mum and dad were a bit, hey, man, do whatever you want, kids. So you go and stay at their place.
Well, this seems to be about younger kids too, about not your child being vulnerable at someone else's house.
So we're talking about like little kids?
Well, all kids, but that's what this woman was talking about with her kids were little. And it's funny how she's saying we're safe, but I don't trust other parents. And maybe that's how you need to think. Psychologists say that sleepovers are good for kids. It helps them navigate independence, practice flexibility, gain exposure to different family cultures, even if they're, hey, man. But I found this very interesting, that new parents, modern parents, not like in our day, kind of say no to sleepovers.
Yeah. It's difficult.
It is difficult, so I'm intrigued. What do you think? Sleepovers, do they pass the pub test?
Jam Nation.
I demand entertainment. Are you not entertained?
Put on your dancing shoes.
Now give me your best shot.
Emma Gillespie is from the Daily Oz. Britney Spears' memoir is out this week. There's Full of Juice. What's the book called, Em?
It's called The Woman in Me. It feels like another week, another memoir, but I reckon this is the memoir to end all memoirs.
Can I ask you this? Has she written it?
Well, who knows?
Written with. It'll be a written with.
Yes, written with. She will have had a ghostwriter who's made it sound lovely, but they all have ghostwriters. Harry, Jada, Pinkett Smith. Last week we spoke about.
Yes.
So it's out tomorrow, but as always happens with these things, excerpts are given to different media organisations. The New York Times have had the biggest chunk of it, I think. So we've gotten lots of headlines already. The book sort of sells itself as this, it says, The Woman in Me is a brave and astonishingly moving story about freedom, fame, motherhood, survival, faith and hope. So in case you missed it, Britney Spears, we all know, was in a conservatorship.
Yep.
That was from 2008 to 2021, the big Free Britney movement. And this is the first time we're really hearing from Britney deep in her own words. We hear from her on her Instagram, but of course that's take that with a grain of salt.
Well, I saw her dancing around a pole.
That's usually what
her
is happening on Instagram. But in the book, we're hearing things like she had a 3-year relationship with Justin Timberlake from the late 90s to the early 2000s.
Which we knew of.
We knew of. They were teenagers. Apparently, she had an abortion during that relationship, which she says she really regretted, but Justin wasn't ready to be a father. I mean, he was about 18.
Sure.
Who can blame him?
And also, when they broke up, she was seen as the instigator of that, and people judged her harshly about breaking his heart. In fact, it was the other way around. He was the cheater.
Yeah. Well, you might remember the song Cry Me a River, that Justin Timberlake song, which everyone thought was about her. The video clip has a blonde girl who dressed sort of similarly to Britney, and that's a song about basically being cheated on. And Britney opens up a little bit more about that time in her life. She says she felt really exploited by this particular interview she did with Diane Sawyer, which really grilled her and pushed that she was this harlot that had broken this good boy of America's heart. But Britney kind of says that they had both, misbehaved, but that he cheated on her and he dumped her via text message. Which seems a bit brutal, especially for the early 2000s.
And you have to be quiet about that.
While she was playing Snake.
Did anyone... Well, how big was the phone? It was like a brick.
Maybe there weren't many words involved.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that she had to sort of sit on that information for all those years when she was judged harshly for it.
Yeah, well, she's been sitting on all this information about everything that's ever happened to her pretty much because she was silenced in 2007. And she does go a little bit into that era. So I'm talking about, the shaving the head, attacking the paparazzi with the umbrella.
Driving with the kid on the...
Kid on the lap, yep.
The no underpants getting out of the car.
Yeah, and she sort of says that during that time, everything was so controlled around her and the media were just constantly hounding her that she sort of felt like the only control she had was to act out and to misbehave. She said she was treated like a child, so she acted like a child, which feels, I can sympathise with that idea, I guess.
Yeah. In terms of the Justin Timberlake stuff, in the same way that because David Beckham's documentary spoke about how the headlines were about how he'd had an affair with his personal assistant in Spain. She has now come out with her side of the story, and she's entitled to. Justin Timberlake here, how is he going to respond to this information?
Well, everyone is waiting to see what happens there. Sources close to the star have said that he's been very anxious about the book to come out, and I think anyone who was in Britney's life over the last 20 years is probably feeling that way. Christina Aguilera, she was on the Mickey Mouse Club with Britney when they were kids. They have this kind of historic feud that was really a media beat up of, two blonde women who happen to be famous at the same time. They must hate each other. But Jimmy Kimmel asked Christina if she's looking forward to reading the book, and Christina was sort of anxious and played it down and was just like, oh, well, I'd rather you be in it than me.
I'd rather put a nail in my head.
Yeah. I'd simply rather die.
Yeah.
So Justin Timberlake, all we know is that I believe Page Six have reported that someone said to someone that he's happy and at home and he's focused on his kids and his wife and his family.
That old line.
That old line.
And bringing out the double Devon.
But I'm sure he has a team waiting for the book to hit the stands. Everyone take a chapter, highlight the bits I need to know about, and maybe we'll hear from him next.
I look forward to skimming through it. I think that's a book I'll skim through.
Yeah.
Well, I think you've covered me enough here. I don't even need to know anymore.
You don't need to skim through.
No.
Well, apparently she drank margaritas from the age of 15 with her mum, so I'm interested in that bit.
Oh.
And her dad's he's not a good guy.
So he'll be nervous at the moment too with all this coming out.
Well, I mean, it couldn't really get any worse for Jamie Spears, or so we've thought. That's her dad. But yeah.
What about old mate, the dancer that she used to, what was his name?
Wade Robson, the Aussie guy?
No, she married Kevin Federline.
Oh, honestly, I didn't even look that bit up because who cares? Kevin snooze on that guy.
Because he came on...
Father of the kids, but
didn't
still.
What was the show he did here? Fat Celebrity Loser. What was the show?
Fat Celebrity Loser. Imagine getting that call from your agent. Hey, good news.
You're on
Got a
back on
job
TV.
for you.
You're back
You're
on
relevant.
the payroll, Kev.
Check her out at thedailyos.com.au. Em Gillespie, thank you.
Thank you.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation. Podcast. We're not gonna take it. I want you to get up right now. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Go to your window.
open them and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, I'm not going to take this anymore.
Down to the Jonesy and Amanda Arms for the pub test today. Sleepovers for kids. Do they pass the pub test?
I saw a reel that said controversial parenting decision. I'm a no sleepovers whatsoever parent. Their friends are welcome at ours any time, but unless myself or my husband are staying at somebody else's house with our children, our boys won't be staying. And just asking around here earlier in the office, and it seems that, a lot of parents are saying no these days to sleepovers. In this study in 2016, an Australian study, 89% of participants said they didn't want their children attending sleepovers for safety concerns.
It was always a bit of a fear when you had to drop your kids off to one of those dodgy places, when they're teens. Did you ever have that?
No.
I remember I dropped off one of my kids once at this place and I went, great. And what do? You can't, you've got to just sort of go with the grace of God and go, please don't, turn my kid into an ice addict.
Yeah, or what about, and this is a terrible thing, when your kid goes for a sleepover when they're little and you think, on a Friday or Saturday night, please don't call me and ask me to come pick you up. I've had half a bottle of wine.
I'm going to be overserved.
Sleepovers, do they pass the pub test?
No, they don't, because as a child, I never liked doing sleepovers, so I would never make my child have a sleepover or go to a sleepover.
So, no, I think it's good that they might put a ban on it, because sometimes you want to let your kids go and you don't want to let them go, and I think the best thing is to keep them at home with yourself. Well, my boys never really liked sleeping over. I still remember having a pick over my 11-year-old, and he rang me in the middle of the night and said, can you come and get me? But he just got really freaked out and it was dark, and so I had to keep the phone on while I went and got him.
Not really. I was always very cautious with my kids. I've got 3, they're now adults. One night we had a sleepover with a very close friend's kids. Anyway, I walked into the room where they'd grown up pretty much like cousins, and everybody's naked and exploring each other, which is all very healthy and everything, and I thought, going to stop that now.
Exploring each other. I don't know if it's that healthy.
Jonesy and Amanda. Damnation. Podcast.
Well, when you think about rock bands or people selling out Madison Square Gardens, you, for 12 days straight, you think of maybe Billy Joel, you think of somebody like that. But there's one band that did it with songs about fruit salad and hot potatoes. I'm talking, of course, about the Wiggles. The Wiggles are the most successful children's act of all time. And they're about to open up like never before in a new documentary called Hot Potato, the story of the Wiggles. To talk us through this is the original and only Blue Wiggle, Anthony Field. Hello.
Amanda, how are you? I'm not the only Blue Wiggle, by the way. There's another Blue Wiggle, Lucia, my daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Lucia's also joined as a Blue Wiggle.
Yeah, but
there's another Blue Wiggle now.
But in our minds, Anthony, it's just you.
Well, no, we have to move with the
Thanks,
times,
Jonesy.
Brenda.
It's all you. It's all you. And in this documentary, what are we going to see? Is there going to be any juice?
Well, it's not really gossipy. It's more about just behind the scenes. And I've got to say, when I watched it, which was the first time the other night, you forget so many things. The amount of time we spend together, the good times we had, the sad times. There's you mentioned a few little arguments in the big red car, and it's just great. We're still mates. You know?
Are we there yet? No.
Exactly.
Well, you did spend a lot of time together. I mean, the fact that you started back in 1991, you were studying early childhood education at Macquarie University, and then you scaled those dizzying heights. It's a long journey with those same people for years.
It is, and honestly, we've watched each other, lived. We've spent so much time together, but also we're grown up, so we've seen our friends have children, families, all sorts of things go through heart. Greg with his heart condition, Jeff with his heart condition, like just what normally you go through with your friends and your mates, and we're still good mates. The story's quite incredible. The success that we had in America, and we continue the Wiggles going on, but it's. I was amazed about that Madison Square Garden as well at the time. It still is.
Well, that's a big deal. Madison Square Garden, that's where Billy Joel performed. That's where Elton John and John Lennon performed.
Yeah, now, you're going to have to help me here. There was a guy who was side stage, Chris Martin, and I've forgotten the group he was with, but they had a song called Yellow.
Coldplay?
Coldplay. Now, he was side stage having a look at Madison Square Garden, and he famously said, "Who are these guys? What are they doing?" Anyway, years later, he invited us to his show, and again, I didn't know much about it. I'm not really up with the times. So, but it was an amazing show. And at the show, and you can see it on YouTube, he sang Fruit Salad Yummy Yummy with Coldplay.
Unbelievable. Well, that's the thing. You have long attracted very famous people who bring their kids along to see you. What have been some of those pinch me moments?
Well, Shaquille O'Neal came a few times to the show. But the last time he came in a red skivvy that he had made up himself.
Wow.
And his manager jumps on side stage. Yeah, big skivvy. And his manager jumps on the side stage and yells out, "Shaq wants on."
Shaq
wants on.
What did you do? Flick Murray? You say, "See you, Murray, you're out."
Well, yeah, Murray. What happened? Were you there, Murray, for that? Well, yeah. He took your guitar off you, didn't he? I'm putting Murray on.
Well, Murray's with you.
Hi, Murray.
Hello, guys. How are you?
Your skivvy would have been 1/8 the size of Shaq's skivvy.
Oh, yeah, you know, he had to have it specially made. And then he came out, the boys I was off stage and the boys were saying, "Where's Murray? Where's Murray?" And then Shaq walks out with my guitar and they do Hot Potato. And it was in Miami and he was playing for the Heat at the time. And the crowd just went nuts when he came out, which was so good. But then it was mentioned on ESPN because he was out with an injury, and the guys on ESPN are saying, "How injured is Shaq if he can get up on stage and dance with the Wiggles?"
So controversy as well.
Shaq wants on.
Absolutely, always controversy.
Well, Murray, put Anthony back on.
I'll put him back on.
Thanks, mate.
There was also Kobe Bryant came to the show.
Right.
Wow.
Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
Yeah, we got a great. He came a couple of times. We got a beautiful. He was a nice man, and a lot of great sporting stars.
But Robert De Niro's been in the crowd.
Yeah, Robert was there. We met him too. He came backstage, which was great. You know.
And is Greg and Jeff with you guys as well? Are you all together at the
Do you
moment?
all live together?
We all
in bunk beds.
You won't believe it. Just Murray and me. We hang out together.
Okay, well that's good. No, that's okay. It's like Bernie and Ert. Bernie and Ert.
I couldn't work out why that didn't sound right. Who's it?
Oh, Bernie and Ernie.
Not Bernie and Ernie. Bert and Ernie.
Bert and Ernie. I was wondering who Ert was.
You mean, is that Bert Newton and Ernie Sigley?
No. Yeah, well, that could be a thing. Well, Anthony, it's always, can I just say this to you? For years in our kids' toy box, my eldest son got your doll when he was a kid. Do you remember this little doll?
Hi, my name is Anthony.
And then that went from my eldest son to my daughter and then my youngest son. And the battery never died.
That's fantastic.
And it just kept going. And it was the hangover toy because I'd always bring it in on a Saturday morning when I'd be bleary. And I just hear this.
Hi, I'm Anthony.
And I go, okay, Anthony, how about you go back into the toy box, mate?
I want to hear more from Ert.
I want to hear more from...
I'm sure we've tortured a lot of parents over the last 32 years.
Well, mate.
And we've loved every minute of it.
We have. Well, say hi to the rest of the gang. Say hi to Murray, who's right next to you. Hot Potato, the story of the Wiggles, premieres on Prime Video Australia tomorrow. Anthony Field, thank you.
Thanks, Jonesy. Thanks, Amanda.
Thanks, Anthony.
Luke.
Jonesy and Amanda's Jam Nation
podcast.
So have you heard that a university banned some kind of clothing after reckless and dangerous and incredibly irresponsible behaviour by a group of male students wearing a certain item of clothing? What do you think it'd be?
Well, when I was young, we were banned from wearing Johnny Reb motorcycle boots and studded belts and stuff like that, you know, with this back when I used to dress like a bikie when you used to go to pubs.
Really?
Yeah, you weren't allowed to wear that sort of stuff.
Well, this is Cardiff University in Wales. And the student union has done this. They have said, as I said, there was some reckless, dangerous, irresponsible behaviour. So the union has implemented this ban and they've had a marked improvement in behaviour since
Studded
then.
belts?
You're not going to believe this. It's blue shirts and chinos. Unbelievable. A group of young men dressed in blue shirts and chinos created such a ruckus that anyone wearing those clothes are now banned from the union.
Really?
The student union. And they've said if any group knows who the males were that caused the incident, I advise the committee to approach the union staff so we can deal with this matter. I mean, pretty much in Australia, that's every young man off to the races, or every young man whose mum said, you have to dress up tonight.
Dress up nice.
We're going to a nice restaurant for Grandma. You have to dress up tonight. You're going to see a blue shirt and chinos.
Yeah,
You're
that's
all under
true.
arrest.
I could see your son Jack wearing that outfit.
Absolutely.
And there'd be some sort of dubious stain in there. as well.
Well, of course. So that's been banned at this university. Just extraordinary. So watch out.
We've come a long way.
Yeah. So if you're a young Australian man, this
Mhm.
week, don't go to Cardiff
Yep.
University.
Get yourself some Johnny Reb boots and a studded belt,
And
you'll
you'll
get
be
in.
okay.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation Podcast.
All right, people, listen up.
Is everybody in? Let's go. Strap yourself in.
Let the fun begin.
Bad news, traffic delays on the M4 after 5 cars have collided. That's bad news. You want some good news?
Yes, please.
Good news for fans of The Curse of Oak Island, the TV
I hope that guy's
series.
listening up.
I mean, that guy.
Fans of Oak Island, hands up.
People are loving The Curse of Oak Island. We're a bit obsessed with The Curse of Oak Island in our house. My wife probably a bit more obsessed than I am.
Is she?
Well, my belief for the Oak Island, it's this. Anyway, here's the premise of the show.
There is an island in the North Atlantic where people have been looking for an incredible treasure for more than 200 years.
Give up. No one's found it.
They have found a stone slab with strange symbols carved into it, mysterious fragments of human bone, and a lead cross whose origin may stretch back to the days of the Knights Templar.
Spoiler
To
alert,
date,
I don't find
6
anything.
men have died trying to solve the mystery, and according to legend, one more will have to die before the treasure can be found.
So who's going to put their hand up and say,
I'll be that guy. I reported on this show that Rick Lagina, one of the guys from the Oak Island search team, had passed away from Lyme's disease.
So is he now the end of this? Is he the end of the curse?
Well, he hasn't died. It was a furphy. It was a fake news out on the internet. Who would have
He
thought
had
that the
Furphy's
internet would
disease.
lie to us?
So there's still someone who has to die. Why don't you go along, see if you can solve
That's
the
what a
curse?
terrible thing to wish. What?
No, all I mean
Well,
is if you're obsessed
I might
with
just
it.
die just to come back and haunt you. Ooh, Amanda, I know where the treasure is. Ooh, ooh. And this is all while you're
How
doing.
did you look fat from behind?
Ooh, you're on the toilet. Ooh, get the air freshener.
You know I don't want you to die. Take all that
thank
back.
you,
Touch
thank you.
Laminex, this bench in front of me.
Touch them. And now the questions will continue because we
Oh.
like the narrator in this show.
A coin found some 170 feet deep within the walls of the C1 shaft? Could this be a vital clue marking the location of the legendary treasure? Could the stone formation be connected in some way to the construction of the mysterious tunnel which was indicated on Fred Nolan's map? Could this iron slag found within the rock feature be additional evidence of some sort of large-scale blacksmithing effort on Oak Island? Perhaps one that could be associated with the possible
Do they ever
construction
answer
of the
any
Money Pit
questions?
treasure shaft.
No.
Treasure shaft.
Pine tar kiln.
Stop! Just stop!
Possibly constructed by the British military and dating as far back as the
Come on.
16th century.
Stop.
Okay.
Nearly 2
Oh,
centuries before
please.
the discovery of the Money Pit.
That's some big questions there.
Any single answers? No. I heard you pop off.
Oh, there's a trouser ghost in here as well.
Jam Nation.
I like the stories of heists, when like the Italian Job, brilliant heists. Do you like the idea of that?
Yeah, I guess so.
Could you be someone that could organise a bit of a heist, a bank heist?
No, you know I'm a goody two-shoes, as I said earlier. I wouldn't be able to do it. But I do like listening to tales of them. What have you got?
A Polish man has been arrested after he pretended to be a mannequin for 2 hours in front of a store window before stealing from a shopping centre after it closed.
So he snuck in and stood in the window.
Stood in there in the window.
Who's that badly dressed mannequin?
Motionless, pretending to be a mannequin in front of the shop window. He's done a good job. I've got a handout for you. There he is there. He's holding a bag.
What if someone wanted to buy his clothes?
Well, he goes in there as the store's closing I like the idea of that.
Yeah, but what if someone who walks past the window and says, "Oh, that's a nice jacket. I'll go in and buy it."
Well, I guess you do it close enough to closing time so that doesn't happen.
Right.
So he's stood there for 2 hours while all the staff have...
Oh, I see. While they lock up.
While they lock up
Take
and do
the
all this sort of
takings
stuff.
and all of that.
Yeah, while they're doing all that, he's just stood in the window.
And then what's he going to steal once all the money's gone?
Well, then he went to the jewellery counter.
Oh, I see.
And stole all the jewels. And then he went and helped himself to some food. And the food...
Don't they take all that away?
Well, I think there's like pastries. You know, those pastries got a half-life of 1,000 years.
They wouldn't leave them just on the counters and stuff.
This would be good. Although, you know what gave him away? Because the police got him.
Mm.
They got him not just on security camera, but they also got him on this.
I'm free.
He was walking around measuring people's inside legs.
He's going to do 10 years in jail, apparently. Gee.
I'm free.
He'll be popular.
Keep that to yourself.
Jam Nation.
Everybody shout! Come on now, sing out! It's time for the Ghoulies get together.
It's only about 6 weeks until we give away $20,000 for our favourite ghoulie of the year. So if you've got a ghoulie, get on in. Download the iHeartRadio app, go to WSFM, press the microphone, record your ghoulie.
Thanks to our very good friends at Hare and Forbes Machinery House.
What have we got today?
Is when my kids, when they go to the toilet
Okay.
and they forget to spray after they've done their business, and then they shut the door, and then when you go in, you feel like you want to vomit.
Oh, okay, right.
That's what gets my ghoulies.
You know, have we asked for this because people know we're toilet obsessed?
I'm not toilet obsessed. You're toilet
That's
obsessed.
not
but
true.
I think it begets other toilet obsessed
What else do
calls.
we have?
Hi, Jonesy and Amanda. This is Gets My Ghoulies is the glue they use on the end of toilet paper, and you cannot buy that glue anywhere to fix things inside your house.
Actually, it's true.
So in the middle of the night in the dark, you're pulling a whole roll of toilet paper completely apart just so you can use it. Anyway, we use Quilton, and it does love your bum, but it'll love your bum better when the glue's not so sticky.
The Red Baron's flying over there. What's he doing that?
Crop dusting.
So much
all
going on. How with the bad, in with the good. If you dipped out, contact us via the iHeartRadio app for Gets My Ghoulies. It's 3 to 9.
Our favourite caller, email or Facebook friend wins 2 tickets to an evening with Jonesy and Amanda, an iHeart Live event. It's presented by Tyre Power. Get the power of Australia's biggest independent tyre network. Tickets are on sale now from Ticketek.
What are we going to wear on stage?
Oh, we've got to work all that out.
We've got to wear something comfortable. Maybe you should wear some comfortable pants.
Oh, I see where we're starting the stabbity stabs already.
Not at all. I'm just saying, what are we going to wear?
Instagram is the game we play every day. It's 10 questions in 60 seconds. You have to get them all right to win $1,000. Today's player, we loved him, Chris from Beacon Hill. His wife won't be happy because he didn't get past this first question.
I'm making sandwiches and getting kids ready for school.
Okay, well, know that you're doing good work here, but you've got to be 100% focused.
We need 60 seconds of focus here, Chris. Do you think you can manage that?
I'm about to launch into the zone.
All right,
put
let's
down
do
the
it.
Devon.
Here we go. Question 1. Valentine's Day is celebrated on which date?
24th of Feb.
Oh, your wife will be furious.
Yeah.
No, it's the 14th of Feb,
14th of
gentlemen.
February. Everyone knows that.
Remember.
Even Johnny
Righto, you
Unromantic
two.
knows
That's enough.
Remind me never to go out with Johnny Unromantic.
He's
The name's
terrible,
a
man.
giveaway. Ugly Phil's back with your chance to take one of WSFM's great escapes.
We'll be back from 6 to 9 for Jam Nation.
See you then.
Good day to you.
Well, thank God that's over.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Wipe the tear, baby dear, from your eye.
Catch Jonesy and Amanda's podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Jonesy and Amanda's
Jam Nation podcast. Catch up on what you've missed on the free iHeartRadio app.